Howdy, YouTubers. This is a subject that I didn't even want to address, but I was going down the road the other day and I had a fellow message me and tell me about his experience coming to the United States and about how his family turned his back on him. And he's living here with his Filipina and her children, and how wonderful their life is, even though the rest of his family turned their back on him. And I replied to the gentleman, I said, I've experienced that also, but I don't generally talk about it. And I get a message about once every 2 weeks or so that someone's experiencing that. And, I address, how sore I am for them and that I've experienced that, but I don't go into detail. And I thought maybe it's high time I do, I'm willing to get on YouTube and toot my horn about how wonderful life is in the United States. So if there's something that's negative in any way, I think it's only fair and honest for me to address it. So here goes. As any of you know that followed our channel, I met my wife online over 5 years ago. And we communicated for about 5 months before I came over to see her. And when I'm talking communicating, I'm talking, wow, lots of hours chatting between the two of us. And I felt very confident that she was the girl that she said she was. And in fact, when I got to the Philippines, that was exactly the way it was. It was like we were always together. Yeah, before it felt so natural. And I got lucky because I was really naive, and sometimes being lucky is better than being good. So, one of my family members picked me up at the airport after going over to see Christine. And on the way home, he said to me out of the clear blue sky, he said, "I can't believe you're so foolish." And I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "You flew halfway around the world to meet this younger woman, and you really think that she's in love with you?" And I said, "Absolutely." He said, "She wants you for your money and your green card." First of all, I'm a 43-year truck driver. I don't think she wants me for my money. And the green card thing just, it upset me because I hear that quite often through people talking to me and sending me messages. So I just said, you've never met her, but you're making a judgment call. I don't think that's fair. And the conversation ended there. And then when I went to their home for Halloween, of course, I popped Christine up a messenger because I wanted her to see and experience a Halloween in the United States with all the kids in their costumes and so forth. And I had put the phone out. I said, "Hey, say hi to Christine." And the phone was immediately batted away saying, if I wanted to talk to her, I'd tell you. So I knew that the problem was much bigger than I thought it was, So I had talked to another family member that lived out in California, and I was telling her about Christine. And she said, "Every Filipina I've ever met has been nothing but a slut." And I said, I'm sorry, but, stereotyping an entire race of individuals by the few that you actually knew, I don't think that's fair. And so we didn't speak about it ever again. I had went there in the past couple of years, and it wasn't good. There's really nothing for me to go back to. They don't agree with the way I live my life, and they want to pass judgment. That's their problem, not mine. So anyway, Christine finally arrives in the United States after about 2.5 years or so, and I had some acquaintances that did the same thing. They became very cold and didn't seem to want to speak to you any longer. In fact, when we went and handed out our wedding invitations, I had one individual just was staring at Christine like he wanted to kill her and said, "I have to work." And of course, we left and never to come back again. And, Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. You know what I mean? But it really hurt my wife. And then when our wedding came, my oldest didn't show up for the wedding. No word. Don't see the grandkids. Nothing. I sent them Christmas pictures and so forth. No word. Nothing. And I thought, I wasn't sure at first if it was racism or if it was an age gap relationship, because back then the world was pretty negative. Not that today it's any better, but at that time there was a lot of hate and discontent going on. There was the China virus being told on TV and people attacking Asians because they were Asian, and just derogatory comments made towards people that their eyes are different than ours. And at that point in time, in fact, I was so negative. I was prepared to leave the country. I thought, um, I'll just leave this country and go to the Philippines and live happily ever after, if that's what it takes, because my eyes were opened several years ago to how we really are in the United States, how we're raised in this society. We're raised to fit in. We're judged by the car we drive, the home we live in, the job we have, the clothes we wear, and you kind of just accept that in this country. And when you go to other countries, you see the difference in their society, and that's one of the reasons why I love the Philippines so much. You can be whoever you want to be, and you're accepted as just another human being. So I took it pretty hard when all of that happened here. And consequently, I knew that my wife took it harder than me. And, my wife wanted to integrate with all parts of our family and be involved in all parts of our family. And she hasn't been able to. My other children accept my wife for who she is. And that's absolutely wonderful. And hopefully my other child will come around in time, And so this is a negative aspect that, we don't talk about. We keep it under the rug where it belongs, so to speak. And it's like, wait a minute, maybe we should. Because I get messages literally every couple of weeks, or I'll be talking to someone that I know in the Philippines or wherever it might be, and they'll tell me an example that they went through the same thing. And I thought, well, we need to bring this out. So, you're going to bring your Filipino to this country. Don't expect everybody to accept your love affair with this younger woman. Age gaps in this country are taboo unless you're rich, and we've all made that statement or even judgment in the past that, oh yeah, she married him for his money, and we've all been quick to make them statements in our past until we're actually living it. And so be prepared for that, and be prepared for the loss of a family member or a friend that are going to turn their back on you because you've married into an age gap relationship and they just can't understand that. And then you can take that even farther and look at so many of these gentlemen in the Philippines that'll tell you never bring your younger Filipino to the United States. Sometimes I think even they might not believe that the younger Filipina actually loves the older man. So in order to protect that relationship, don't take them out of that environment, so to speak. And, if you're really in love with your Filipina, and I don't care where she's from, I'm just using Filipina as my example, because that's who I fell in love with. If you're married to your Filipina and you have a wonderful marriage, I don't care where you live, you can be happy. I don't think you have to be naive to the fact, like I was, that things are going to change. But on the flip side of that, I've gained so much. Number one, going to the Philippines and spending as much time as I have there has opened up my eyes and opened up my heart. I'm not quick to make a judgment call. I understand what family and love is, and we experience that here every day. And I've got a stepson that's going to be 14, and I'm so proud of him. Not that I haven't been proud of all my other children. Don't get me wrong. I love them all the same. And he is integrated into America wonderfully well. Thank God he has experienced absolute zero racism, which is wonderful. And I think the younger generation has more of ability to accept differences than us older guys. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, that's, you know, I was one of them old dogs too, until my eyes were awakened. And now our life is good. But, for all you guys that are planning on bringing your Filipinas to the United States, don't believe the scuttle that's spewed all over the internet of it's not safe to bring your Filipina here because someone's going to steal her. Well, let me tell you something. Someone's going to steal her. There again, don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you, because she wasn't in love with you to begin with. And I think any man that does due diligence, tongue tied here, due diligence, you know when you're loved. You know when that love is real. And if you're a good man and you nurture your relationship, you've got nothing to worry about. Honestly, in any relationship, no matter where you are, if today the other half decided to end it, it would be over. It's just that simple. So when you come here, there may be family members and friends that may alienate you, may not speak to you. Be prepared for that. But don't give up, that's for sure. Don't let that influence how you treat your Filipina. When they do that, remember, it may hurt you, but it hurts her twice as much. So hug her just a little bit harder. Give her just a little bit more kisses to make it all better. That's what I try to do, And hopefully this advice has helped some of you today. And with that being said, you have a wonderful day, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.